Welcome, everybody. This is another demo days. Hope everybody has had a great and productive week. Um, and it's Friday, so it's yes. I'm sure everybody's excited like I am. And I just wanted to, for those of you who've watched demo days before, just know you are live on LinkedIn and YouTube. So if you like what you're seeing today, or you want to ask a question, leave a comment, and those comments I will see them and I can pull them up. So you can the comment, you can ask whatever you want. You can just make a comment. So today we have Marc Yap from Sophos. How you doing, sir?
Doing very well, thanks, and definitely happy it's Friday.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm waiting for my Tennessee Volunteers to play this weekend. So yeah.
Nice.
Marc, you are with Sophos, and I am very familiar with you guys. When I first started back in 2009, 2008, it was a very, you guys have evolved, and I think you're doing some really good things out there. I see a lot of mentions for you guys out there as well. So, very interested to see the demo today. Um, would you like to introduce yourself to everybody out there, as well as what you're going to be showing today on Sophos?
Yeah, most definitely. Thanks for having me here today, Garrett, and thanks everyone for tuning in. My name is Marc Yap. I'm a senior channel account executive aligned to our MSP channel here at Sophos. Been with the company for just about 7 years, and you're right, Garrett. We've evolved a lot over the years. Even throughout my 7-year tenure at Sophos, we've evolved a lot of products and service offerings, the way we go to
Mhm.
market. Really excited to talk about our whole channel today. So I'm going to start out with, for those of you who aren't familiar with Sophos, what we do, how we help MSPs. I'm going to be going over our channel program, a brief overview of our products and services, and then we can dive into our central platform to show you how it all ties in and sort of a demo like you mentioned, Garrett.
Awesome. All right, looking forward. You ready to go ahead and pull your share up? Oh,
Yeah, I
I
got it
think
up
you
here.
can. There you go. Let's see here. There you go.
That is perfect. All right, so we'll get started. Did a quick introduction already. I titled this Sophos MSP Flex Partner Program, the
Hmm.
perfect fit for MSPs. My goal is by the end of this short presentation, those of you who aren't familiar with Sophos will be familiar with our products and service offerings, but more importantly, understand why I believe Sophos is really the perfect fit for MSPs and how we can meet your needs for cybersecurity. So we'll go to the agenda slide right here. We're going to be talking about Sophos at a glance. I know a lot of audience members, those of you who've joined, maybe haven't heard of Sophos before. Even if you have, guaranteed there are one or two or three items here that you'll see that are brand new. We've maybe just introduced it, and it may pique your interest as well. We'll talk about the cybersecurity challenge a little bit, and I think most MSPs can relate to a lot of the similar cybersecurity challenges out there today. And then we're going to be talking about our Sophos MSP Flex program and the advantages to that and how we can solve these cybersecurity challenges. And you can see I call it the 111 or the 3 1s. We have really three core pillars in terms of how we can help MSPs with this specific channel program. We're going to be talking about our services that we sell through our MSPs, so Sophos Cybersecurity as a Service or our managed detection and response. You've heard of that term before. It really is a hot topic or a hot product and service that a lot of MSPs are looking to offer their end customers. And then finally, who to contact. We do have a great team at Sophos. We have over 20 channel leaders that are dedicated to our MSP partners in North America. Here for your success. We don't sell direct, and we're here to support all our partners. I put Q&A at the end, but like I was telling Garrett, if anybody has a question, feel free to drop it in the chat or the comments, and we can
Yeah.
call it out. I'm happy to answer questions at any
Yeah.
time. Interrupt me anytime, Garrett.
Oh, I will. I will. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. So Sophos at a glance, who are we? What do we do? I think, Garrett, over the years, you mentioned we've evolved quite a bit. We definitely have a little bit more customers than when you were partnered with Sophos. And I think you mentioned 2008, 2009. We have over 600,000 customers already today. with a lot of users, as you can see there. In terms of company size, employee size, we have over 4,100 employees. And one thing I really wanted to point out is that when we talk about Sophos and our cybersecurity as a service offerings, when we talk about managed detection and response, our incident response team, our threat hunters, we call that the Sophos XOps team. I know it kind of sounds like a superhero, but really,
It's Sophos what team?
XOps.
Oh,
So,
okay. I like that. That's kind of
yeah.
cool.
So that's our sort of blanket term for our security operations center. Anybody involved in threat hunting, incident response, protecting our customers 24/7, and really augmenting a lot of these services off of our MSPs. We have over 500 employees at Sophos dedicated to that function, and they're all Sophos employees. We don't outsource that at all. So Garrett, if you ask me, hey Mark, that's great. You have cybersecurity as a service. How big is that team behind the service? Do you have one person sitting behind the desk monitoring all your customers? Absolutely not. Today we have over 500 that are part of that team. So it's a really, really big team. One of the largest security operations centers operating in the world. And we do have it, of course, spanned out globally. We have some in Vancouver, where I am, Australia, UK, all over the United States, in every region of the globe. We also sell 100% through the channel. So we don't sell directly to end customers. The only way customers can use our products and services and procure are through our channels. So 25,000 plus channel partners across the globe, of which 7,000 of them are MSPs who bill through our MSP Flex program on a monthly basis. And we'll touch a little bit on how we price and license later in this presentation, Garrett. There's a ton of advantages for our MSPs.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, as I said, if you only had one person doing all that, I feel really sorry for them. But good to know you have a large, large team.
And this team is growing a lot. Just 3 years ago, we probably had under 100 employees as part of our security operations center, our XOps team. Today, over 500 and growing as we have more and more customers using our services. We also integrate to a ton of different vendors, even our competitors, the PSA, RMM vendors, Microsoft, Google Workspace, you name it. We're an open platform. We can also integrate. We understand that the more integrations we have, the better our security operations team can operate, the better we can protect your customers. And at the end of the day, think of it this way: every security layer should work together. None of this stuff should work in isolation. And that's one of the biggest challenges our MSPs face today. The potential misconfiguration of having so many different security layers working in isolation. That's a big problem. And it's actually one of the biggest areas that the threat actors are looking to exploit. So we're looking to solve that at Sophos. A lot of endpoint customers, a lot more than when you were using Sophos years ago, Garrett, using our on-prem stuff. Everything's in the cloud today. We're the largest, you might not know this, but we are the largest managed detection and response vendor in the world by unique customers. We have over 23,000 unique customers using our MDR service today. So I'm very proud to say that we've grown that service a lot. And every time I update the slide, it seems to be a big jump in the amount of customers we have, which is tremendous. Again, supported by the 500 members on our security operations team. So really, really cool to be able to share that. We do have a lot of firewall customers as well. And I didn't even know this, but we have over 22,000 email customers today. I thought the number was a little bit lower. But again, it just really goes to show our service offerings, our customers and partners believe in it. And we are growing our customer base at a very rapid rate. So that's Sophos at a glance, a security vendor that pretty much meets 80 to 90% of your security needs across over 20 products and services that you can layer together. They're built together, and it's much, much easier to manage, which I will demonstrate for you later on in the second half of this presentation. Before we dive into the Sophos advantages, what makes us unique, let's talk about some of the challenges you may be facing today as an MSP. I think most of this, I quickly jotted down some notes, and I think these are pretty basic. MSPs today are facing way too many security tools. You're onboarding new customers. Your customers are asking you to protect certain threat vectors in their environment, and then you're going out there, you're evaluating new vendors. You have a new login, a new partnership, a new dashboard, a new price sheet, a new pricing model. You got to do more certifications. It gets very complicated. We can definitely solve this problem at Sophos because of our depth and our breadth of offerings here under the security umbrella. Security tools not working. I think I already mentioned this earlier. One of the biggest, we just recently released a MSP report, and in our annual report, it showed that one of the biggest concerns by MSPs are the potential misconfiguration of this stuff. There's a ton of great products out there, but if they're not configured correctly initially, and if they're not configured correctly ongoing, that really defeats the purpose of a lot of the different security vectors. If you buy the best lock for your windows and your doors, but you forget to lock it, that's a problem, right? So we can also help with that. We do have the cybersecurity services here at Sophos. And because we have all the products and services working together, that also eliminates, or I wouldn't say eliminate, it really shrinks the potential for misconfiguration. Keeping up with the latest cybersecurity solutions and technologies, that's very difficult as well. Hiring and retaining cybersecurity experts, I'm sure a lot of you can relate. If you hire a top engineer, and it's a very competitive space, hire a top engineer, a rock star, they decide to jump ship to join a different MSP or an organization, you're left with a hole to fill that's pretty tough. Again, one of the ways we can help with this is through our services with our MDR, for example. Most MSPs don't have the time, maybe they don't have the expertise, maybe they don't have the budget to have their own security operations center. They're unable to do their own threat hunting, detections, and remediation. No problem. We have our team of 500 members that can help augment that off of MSPs. Take it off your plates. Out of office coverage. I mean, a lot of MSPs do have 24/7 help desk, but they don't go as far as threat hunting, incident response, responding to ransomware. We do that. We're experts doing that. Leave that up to us. And then I think one thing that's overlooked oftentimes are the vendor contracts, how they price and license. There are a lot of great solutions out there, but their contracts and the requirements can be risky. At Sophos, just remember this, the way everything I talk about today with how we price, with how we license in the MSP Flex model, there's no minimum spend, there's no minimum contracts, there's no minimum quantities that you deploy. We bill you based on your active usage on a monthly basis. So Garrett, if you're an MSP with Sophos and you deploy one license of our firewall and one license for email, just a random example, you'll be billed for one license for email and one license for firewall. If you need to, if for some reason that company you're servicing with those two licenses go out of business, you can uninstall or turn off those two licenses. You have a $0 bill next month for that environment. Simple as that. There really is no contract you need to sign. You don't have to say, Mark, I want to procure 50 licenses for the customer A, B, C, and I want it for 2 years. What's the price on it? Not the case. We have a price sheet, kind of like a menu at a restaurant. You can go and deploy. You'll see a price for every product with price breaks depending on how many you've deployed. And you get billed for it on active usage on a monthly basis. So definitely a big advantage and really no risk for our MSPs.
That's cool. I like that flexibility.
I get asked all the time, what if we could we do a 3-year contract? And I say, there's really no advantages of doing that, and we actually don't offer that anyways. That flexibility is key. It's definitely saved a lot of our MSPs some headaches. And really, we have amazing products and services, but you'll be surprised with how many partners move to Sophos because of how we price and license, because they've been burned in the past with price increases, with rigid contracts. Maybe their customer, knock on wood, but sometimes the customer doesn't pay. If they don't pay and you're under the Sophos MSP Flex program, turn off their licenses or convert it to a evaluation, and there's really no risk. Overall, the complexity of cybersecurity is increasing. There's no doubt about that. It's increasing for a reason. There's a lot of different areas in an environment that a threat actor can exploit. But the good thing is we do have a lot of the solutions and the layers of security for that. Daily management, That's a big barrier. I mean, if we're looking at adding more and more security layers to adequately protect an end customer or an organization, even the day-to-day management is becoming very time consuming. And it's even more time consuming when you have to log into 20 different security vendors, 20 different dashboards. At Sophos, one login, and I'm going to show you how all that works afterwards.
Yeah, later I definitely want to ask you about the evaluation license, how that can be used, because there's onboarding, there's prospecting, things that's interesting to me. So we can touch on that later. You just bookmarking it out loud.
Yeah, most definitely. You brought up a really good point, Garrett, and I can touch on that during the demo piece. But if you do have a customer out there, you're a partner with Sophos, and they're not ready to fully deploy, we do have free evaluation licenses that are good for 30 days. You can
Mm-hmm.
deploy whatever you want in the eval license, and then you can easily convert it to an active partner, and then we'll start billing once they're ready. And the eval licenses are good for 30 days. No redeployment, and all the configurations that you've done in the trial seamlessly converts. So we're not starting from scratch, which is amazing. A lot of our partners do leverage that. So thanks for bringing that up. So the three advantages, the 111 or the three ones, I like to call it here at Sophos, one security vendor, one management dashboard, and then one flexible program refers to how we price and license. A lot of the stuff I mentioned earlier around the flexibility, tremendous advantages there with very, very low risk for our partners. So you might be wondering, and Garrett, compared to 10 or 15 years ago, we do have a lot more service offerings today than we did back then. Even compared to 5 years ago, compared to 7 years ago when I first started at Sophos, we definitely have a much more complete cybersecurity offering today, which is tremendous. Before we jump into what we offer, let's talk about the complexity of environments. It's no surprise that it's becoming more and more complex. There are more areas that the threat actors are looking to exploit. This is a very simple diagram that we've put together. You have customers with physical assets, you have users that are in the office, behind the VPN, behind a firewall. You may have remote users as well. Work from home is no longer a thing. It's just the norm. It's not a anomaly anymore. The hybrid work environment has made cybersecurity more complicated. We also have assets in the cloud, on-premise, SaaS solutions, a lot of different areas to protect. In order to protect all these different areas, and again, this is a very simple diagram, the way to do it is to add different security layers at every point of entry that a threat actor can exploit. Um, that is great, but that's a lot of potential misconfiguration, like I mentioned earlier. It's a lot of dashboards and a lot of training and certifications that you need to do as well. So what do most MSPs end up with? They end up with something like this. They end up with a specific vendor for firewall, wireless, email, and the list goes on. You'll be surprised. Sometimes we have MSPs that join Sophos and say, we go through the evaluation and we ask them, what are you using for firewall? What are you using for endpoint and mobile? We'll have some MSPs that move over and they are using 3 or 4 different vendors for multiple categories. They might have 2 or 3 or 4 firewall vendors that are currently using today. They might be
Mm-hmm.
using a couple different vendors for endpoint. And over the years, it just becomes very complicated. At Sophos, we can replace most of the major security categories, all managed in one dashboard, which I'll demonstrate for you, called Sophos Central. So one login, all these different products and services working together, not individually. And we can basically replace most of the vendors that you're using today. The cool thing with this as well is that you don't have to move everything over at once. You can move over, firewall and endpoint initially. And what we find is most MSPs will then start layering on the different levels, the layers of security later on as well. Maybe as their vendor contracts come up or as a need comes up. I had a partner reach out to me this morning that asked, "Hey, Mark, our customer is asking for security awareness training as well as an email vendor. What would be a good vendor for that? I've worked with you for many years for firewall and endpoint." And I said, Sophos would be good for that. If you click on your dashboard and you click on the customer, you can deploy up email and the training just within a few minutes because you already have all the users created in the dashboard. And he was surprised. It's been a little while since he's looked at our different product offerings, and we have it right in there. He's going to go and test it out and hopefully deploy with us. This is a full picture of all the products and services we offer today under each category, multiple layers of licensing. But we do have the services, like I mentioned earlier, on the left-hand side, where we have the 500 members of our XOps team, endpoint security, including mobile. So we also protect pretty much any type of OS, Windows, Mac, Linux, cloud servers, cloud workloads. We also protect mobile devices from iOS to Android. We have device encryption. We have physical and virtual firewalls. We have network detection and response, NDR, to look at potential malicious traffic that's going on within an environment or devices that we can't install an agent on, for example, with IoT devices, printers, and so forth. NDR can really detect a lot of the malicious traffic that are communicating between those different devices. Zero trust, of course, we have the traditional VPN with our firewall, but more and more remote users call for more and more protection for remote users, and zero trust is definitely a good solution for that. You can see the other hardware we have there with switches and firewalls. And then, like I mentioned earlier, we also have email and security awareness and training as well. So a lot of different products that we have here at Sophos, but the secret sauce behind all this, besides it being managed in one place, is what we call synchronized security. Synchronized security is not a product we sell. It's not a service that we offer for a license. It's a free, it's really a free service. It basically describes the fact that all these products and services that you see here work together. They're not just managed in one dashboard. So you're not logging into one place and then being able to manage all this stuff. We take it a step further. Our MDR team can also look at the logs, the alerts, the threats from other products, email, mobile, the firewall. The point is our products are communicating with one another in real time versus them working in isolation. When we rewind a few slides, and you remember that slide where I showed all the different vendors, firewall, mobile, and so forth from different vendors,
Yeah.
having those layers are great. But if they're all working in isolation, you know, threat of misconfiguration, um, uh, delay in response, those are all real deals, right? So if a endpoint is infected and there's one vendor covering that, another vendor covering the firewall may not know what's going on with the endpoint. At Sophos, if there's a potential malicious application on a server or an endpoint, and you have a Sophos firewall as well, well, the firewall can isolate that user or the endpoint from the network right away because it's going to know what's going on. So that synchronized security or that communication between the security layers cannot be understated, and it's really an included service at Sophos. It's not a service that we charge extra for, if that makes sense.
Good to know.
Yeah, management dashboard. Not much to show here. I put a screen capture because I'm actually going to demonstrate this in the second half of this presentation. A few more slides, then I'm going to wrap up and jump over to the other side. One flexible program. I know a lot of our current partners love this. I already touched on most of the advantages, but here are some highlights. Monthly consumption billing, already mentioned that. No contracts, no risk, no term agreements, all strictly month to month. I already mentioned that there's no quantity commitments, there's no minimum spends. We sell 100% through our channel program. Price tiers, you do get quantity breaks. And the cool thing about the price tiers is we aggregate all your customers together. So you are able to reach price breaks a little bit more quickly than having price breaks for individual customers. You don't need quotes. If you need a product, if you need to use a product today on Christmas Day or Thanksgiving, you can go ahead and go into that dashboard, activate the product, and then we'll simply add it to your bill. So it's super easy. If you need to change the level of licensing, same thing. There's so many vendors out there where you need to go through the procurement process, purchase the license first. It can take a few days before using the product. If you need our MDR service today, Garrett, for one of your customers, and it's Christmas today, you can actually go ahead and deploy, and they'll be monitored by our team within just minutes. So super easy, super quick. You don't need to worry about renewals. That's one massive pain point for MSPs. Renewals are missed, security goes down, the email goes down, firewall services are not available. simply because there's too many renewals out there to keep track of. Customers and partners sometimes forget there's no renewals for this program. Everything works until you turn it off. We do have a lot of integrations, like I mentioned, as well. Before we jump into the demo, I just wanted to highlight a few key facts about our services at Sophos, our MDR. I know I've touched a lot on that already, but we do really have one of the best managed detection and response and cybersecurity services for MSPs out there today. This is one slide. We have a lot of different accreditations that we've been awarded, which is amazing. Not only are we one of the biggest or the biggest MDR provider in the world by unique customers, we also win a ton of awards for that service. We define our MDR by a 24/7 fully managed service where we have over 500 threat experts who are monitoring your customers 24/7. If there's an incident with our MDR complete license, we will also respond on your behalf, on behalf of your customers. So that full incident response is key. I love it when an MSP tells us, you know what, we have your MDR. There was a potential ransomware attack in the middle of the night, and your team responded to it. We didn't have to do anything, and they provided all the reporting the following day. It made me look like a rock star to my end customer, solidified why they needed our MSP services, and it really wasn't them. It was Sophos behind the scenes and our MDR team doing the work. So we got a ton of great stories like that. Part of the reason why we have such a successful cybersecurity service program at Sophos is because of what you see on the screen here. It's very effective, it's very accurate, and it's very fast. The amount of time it takes to detect, investigate, and respond is insanely quick. And the reason why it's quick is because of all the telemetry and the threat intelligence we have all over the world. And put it this way, if you're working with a firewall vendor today, they have telemetry and threat intelligence mostly on just a firewall. Think of it this way. At Sophos, we have over 20 products and services. We have threat intelligence from the firewall to email to endpoints to servers, cloud workloads, mobile, the encryption piece, switches, access points. We collect so much data, and we're able to then use that data to protect your customers proactively. And because we have such a wide range of products and we offer our services globally, we're ahead of most threats that are going on, which is really cool. And for zero-day threats, the ones that are brand new that nobody has seen before, our artificial intelligence and our deep learning, we have great models that can detect that ahead of time as well. We integrate to a lot of different things. I've already touched on the fact that we integrate to our own products, no surprise, but we also integrate to a wide range of third-party solutions. So if you have our MDR, but you have a customer with a heavy investment on Palo Alto or SonicWall firewalls, no problem. We have an extra license where we can tie into those products as well. This is a small list. I wrote in the bottom there. We have many more integrations on this website called the Sophos Marketplace, where you can see all the different ones that we offer. How do you partner with Sophos? So last few slides before we jump into the demo, the official demo. Simply go on our website here, and I think I can share this slides with you, Garrett. And if anybody's interested, can definitely put in a partner application. Again, it's no risk. You can put in a partner application, get access to our dashboard, all the different trial and eval licenses, and use your products with no risk. You really have no minimum commit in order to join our partner program. We have a specific MSP channel team. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm part of this team. So we have a large team that covers MSPs all over the globe, but more specifically in North America, we have over 20 specific channel leaders for our MSPs. And unless there's any questions, I'm going to switch gears and jump over to our central partner dashboard so we can demonstrate how this all looks in the actual dashboard itself. How does that sound, Garrett?
I like it. Yeah, I'm very interested to see how you guys are doing this.
Very cool. So can you confirm that you can see my screen here for the Sophos dashboard?
I can see it.
Perfect. So as I walk you through this, and I think we have about 10 or 15 minutes to walk through our dashboard, I want you to remember all the key points that I mentioned earlier. One dashboard to log into, 20 plus products and services. They're all priced and licensed together. They all work together. makes your life a bit easier, right? So you as an MSP can log into one place. This is called the Sophos Central Partner Dashboard. When you log in here, and by the way, this is a demo account, so don't worry about the 181 high-level alerts. Most MSPs may be panicking if they see that, but this is a complete demo account. The info in here may be a little bit messy. But when you log into this dashboard as an MSP, you're able to manage all your different customers. You're able to quickly glance at all the relevant information. Now, some of the products don't have information in this demo because we aren't actively deploying out to customer environments, but you will get an idea just by me walking through this. One of the main benefits is that you can log in and then you can manage all your customers. We have MSPs that only have one customer and have 10 licenses. They can even have one license. We have some of our largest MSPs that have, and you can scroll through here and see all the different customers. We have some MSPs that have over 1,000 unique customers in their central partner dashboard. It's very scalable. There's no minimum, there's no maximum. You can easily create a customer right in here. So I'll show you how to do that in a sec. But one thing I wanted to show you, remember in the slides, one login, one dashboard, all these different products and services. You can easily scroll through and see, all right, so this specific demo account that we have in here, what products do they have? They're billed monthly, and you can see that they have our network detection and response, our managed detection and response, and a few other products as well. Our MSPs also love this because it's a great way for them to cross-sell, upsell to different security layers to their end customers. If you have a meeting with this specific customer, you might be able to ask them, what are you using to visualize and protect cloud assets? We have the cloud optics here that they don't have deployed today. As we scroll to the right, you can see we have a lot of product offerings. The ones that are being used are on the left-hand side by the different customers.
It's a lot.
There's a lot for sure, yeah. Within each product as well, there's different levels of licensing, right? So for example, our endpoint and server protection, we have 5 levels of licensing just for that. So if you have a customer that needs just very basic security, maybe they're early in their security journey, they have a lower budget, you can start them with a lower license. Let's say they are a little bit nervous, they want a higher level of licensing, like our MDR. Oh, Garrett, you'll like this. Let's find a customer here with a lower level of licensing. For example, Kyle T Industries. They're on our middle range endpoint protection, which is our XDR. Some MSPs will know it as EDR. If I wanted, let's say it's Thanksgiving or Christmas, and they're a little bit nervous about their environment, maybe in their industry or their industry, there's been a lot of breaches, and they say, you know what, I want to have MDR. I need to have somebody monitor my stuff 24/7. This is how easy it is. You can click on the customer. You can click change license. I'm going to unclick all the other products just because for demonstration purposes, we'll stick to just the endpoint. I can hit next. Let's move them to MDR and hit next. If I click save, it's automatically going to upgrade this customer from XDR or EDR to manage detection and response. Within just a few minutes, our team's going to be monitoring this customer and monitoring them for potential threats right away. That's how easy it is. The price difference will be added to the MSP's bill, of course. But that's how easy it is. You don't have to call us. You don't have to call your distributor to get a quote, to go through the procurement process, to get the e-license, to use the product. You can protect your customers immediately.
I like that. That is, that's half the battle sometimes. Just trying to get something, without, you don't always need to talk to somebody because, just get me on, we could do a lot of self-help stuff, figure it out later. So this is good. I like that.
And with security, time is of the essence a lot of times, right? You may have a customer that, maybe getting a lot of spam emails and they need to add another layer of security to their emails. And maybe we put on our email license, which is email advance that you see here. You can go ahead and let's say it's a brand new customer. They're not even here on your dashboard today. And you need to create the new customer. You simply create a new monthly account. You fill out the customer information, and we'll go through this just because of the lack of time. But it's very straightforward. You'll put in the customer information, and you'll hit next, and then you'll go through the steps and click save. When you've done that, it'll create a customer tenant in the dashboard, and it's going to be a blank tenant, just like this one. This one doesn't seem like it has any customers in there. It's probably a test one. Once you create the customer, you can then deploy out any of the products that I've mentioned earlier. Every single one, unless it's requires hardware. If you need a physical firewall or access point or switch, of course you need to buy that first. Any software, any virtual firewall, you can deploy out anytime without going through that procurement process. You can change license anytime as well.
Can I? Yes. So, say I'm just joining Sophos, um, adding a client that am I able to integrate with like my PSA, RMM, like and bring them all in? Because if I have 1,000 customers,
Mhm.
it's a lot. How can I work in bulk? Situations like that.
Yeah, great question. And I actually have our Sophos Marketplace website up here. So
Uh
for
huh.
any of you viewers who are wondering what RMM and PSA tools we integrate to, you
Mm-hmm.
can visit our website, Sophos, or just Google Sophos Marketplace, and you'll be able to narrow down the different integrations. And you'll see one here called MSP Tool Integrations, RMM PSA. If you click
Mm-hmm.
on that and filter it and apply, you'll be able to see, once it refreshes, there we go, some of the integrations we have for RMM and PSA tools. We do have open APIs as well with Sophos Central. So if we don't integrate to them specifically, you can pull any information from Sophos Central as well. But for example, if you wanted to see how we integrate this a specific vendor,
Yeah.
you can click into there and you can see more information. You can also click the specific page for each one. We're going to show you how to integrate to it. We're going to show you the level of integration as well. It's not all equal, of course. We have some that are just for deployment scripts. For example, with the Ninja RMM, it's just really a deployment script to make your life easier to deploy. We have ConnectWise that even goes to ticketing and alerting. So it varies. We're always building more integrations to ARM and PSA tools as well. But great question.
Yeah. All right. So I could do that, pull them all in, and then I could, start, assigning. And is that about right?
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely use your ARM and PSA
Yeah.
tools to deploy, manage alerts, for, of course, for things like licensing and
Mm-hmm.
invoicing on the PSA side. That'll help a lot as well.
If
Um,
For those who don't have PSAs, things like that, I know CSVs are like a bread and butter. I think every MSP has a CSV tattoo. And what I see there's export to CSV. Can I
yeah.
upload a CSV for the customers if I want to do that
Most
to
definitely, and
RMM?
yeah, a lot of our partners do that. If you export this to CSV, it's going to give you your live view today, everything you see
Okay.
here, but organized a little bit nicer. But we go a step further because every month, 12 times a year, we actually publish a usage report across every single one of your customers as an MSP, all the licenses they use, the quantity they use, and we provide that for you, and it's accessible in our partner portal. So you can download that at any time. It's very,
Okay.
very detailed, and yes, you can use that to upload into whatever system you're invoicing system you're using. So
Okay. Cool.
great
Uh,
question. We
yeah.
basically do that for you. What else? Let's talk about let's launch into a specific customer,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll show you what that looks like. Because the way it works here is that you have your partner dashboard, all your customers, all the different product listings. But of course, if you want to manage just one customer, you can drill down into one customer specifically. So let's drill down to this MSP and CSP demo. Click the box, launch into the customer. When you launch into the specific customer, and by the way, this will initially show you the licenses they're using, but it
Yeah.
doesn't give you much other details outside of that. In
Mm-hmm.
order to actually look at the specific reports, logs, alerts, dashboards, everything like that, we want to log into the customer. And you'll know we're in the customer because here you'll see MSP and CSP demo as a customer, and it won't say partner here anymore.
Yeah.
Um, you can also we have really granular role-based access controls. So in the event it's a co-managed environment, you can give your customer access from read-only all the way to super admin access, and everything in between. You can also customize the role-based access controls very granularly. So if I wanted to give Garrett access to this, but I only want him to manage just the firewalls, no other product, I can also
Right.
create a specific role for that very, very easily. So another huge benefit of this platform. You can see here that every product is enabled. Doesn't mean that this specific customer tenant's using all the products. You can see in the previous screen, they're only using a
Mm-hmm.
few. But I can enable any product anytime I want. It's there for me. It's ready for me. When you log in, this is the general dashboard, but we also have customizable dashboards, which are amazing. This one has one custom dashboard
Mm-hmm.
because of the demo account, but our central overview dashboard, if I click into there, it's basically this dashboard that's right in here. It's we have it in early access today, but you can actually also export this to a PDF. You can send it
Mm-hmm.
to your customer. You can show them their health score, all the work that we're doing and you're doing to protect their environment. Customers love that. We have full reporting for other products like MDR as well.
Yeah.
If I go to manage detection and response, I can see the different cases that our teams are working on or that have responded to. So if there's a ransomware incident, it'll show here. We do have a monthly and a weekly report as well for MDR that'll show you the detections that we've seen, the cases we've responded to, very detailed reporting and alerts. So this is on the customer side, and I know I only have a few minutes remaining. And by the way, Garrett, do we have until the top of the hour or um,
We have until about 5 minutes to the top of
okay,
the hour.
perfect.
So you have about 13 minutes.
13 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Wait.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, perfect. Yeah, I only need a few minutes. And if anybody here wants a deeper dive, of course, reach out to our
Yeah.
team. This is what we
And,
do.
yeah. And I was going to say, for those of you who are joining late, feel free to leave a comment if you want to ask Mark a question, or because we'll put it up there. Um, And you can also, because this is recorded after the fact, if you're watching it, drop a comment. We definitely get in touch with you as well. You could just mention him, and yeah, go for it.
Perfect. Yeah. Another major benefit of all this, one login, all the products, all the customers managed together, is that you can also create policy. Of course, creating specific policies, creating specific controls around the
Hmm.
product is huge. We have some MSPs that have over 1,000 customers that are in their dashboard. It would take them maybe a year to go through each customer and create the same policy. And that's why we've created global policies and templates that partners can leverage on the partner level. So, for example, we have some MSPs who create a standard web filtering and application
Yeah.
control and peripheral control policy across all their customers if they onboard them. Let's say there's a partner that says, for all of our customers, we're going to disable, gambling websites, um, other violent websites, and so forth. Instead of going through each customer and creating that, we can also leverage the global policies and global templates that are on the partner level and
Hmm.
easily do that ourselves. So we can say here, restrict, um, uh, you know, gambling websites. Let's save that. We go in here, and then we can go to the global settings and policies, and we can go ahead and create a web control policy. I can push it out to 2 customers. I can push it
Hmm.
out to 1. I can push it out to 1,000 customers. So it makes your life a little bit easier. If you have a specific email security policy or device encryption policy, or uh, threat protection or peripheral control, again, it could be
What?
done at partner level, and it
Hmm.
could be pushed out to many, many different customers, which is pretty cool.
Is there, like, if you click on one of those, is there another screen, or is it?
Oh yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
it's.
So I didn't go through all that specifically, but for example,
Mhm.
and let's use my example here, the restrict gambling websites. I can easily go here and say, let's block the
Hmm.
user, and maybe I block every customer except for 3 of your customers that are in the casino industry.
Yeah.
Very customizable. So, I've had certain customers in the past where they needed access to some of these websites because their industry requires that. and maybe you don't push it out to those customers, or you do create the policy on the customer side and you only let a few of their users access those. It's very customizable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great question.
Can I have my own like screen if they try something? Oh, hey, you're whatever. I could put their logo. You can't visit the site or anything.
You can, yeah. So you can also you can block, which will tell them they're not able to visit that website. If it's not something that's critical and you don't want to completely block them, just warn them, hey, you shouldn't be going on those websites. You can choose the warn option as well.
Okay, cool. Because I could block them and say, "Don't be a degenerate gambler. You can't, And then okay, all right,
At
cool.
least not at work hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's very cool, and I mean, you can start to get a feel for how easy this is. And
Mm-hmm.
when I introduced myself earlier, I didn't introduce myself as a cybersecurity engineer. I'm not a solutions or sales engineer. I'm a channel rep at Sophos, and I can
Yeah.
pretty much go through most of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can, certainly our MSPs can as well with a little bit of training. We do offer great sales, engineer, architect, and technician trainings as part of our channel program as well,
Okay.
which is great. But I mean, a lot of the complexity with managing cybersecurity is eliminated just by the highlights that I shared here today, whether it's creating a global policy or template,
Yeah.
whether it's logging into one place, whether it's managing one or 1,000 customers, whether it's having the products speak to one another. It's all here for our partners. So Garrett, am I still? Did I do good on time? Are we?
Yeah, man, you're still doing good. By the way, we have a comment from Raymond Lugo. Says thanks for setting this up. These types of coverages are awesome to see. Glad you like it, Raymond. If you have any questions, something you want to see, just let us know. We have a few minutes left, but we could definitely put that up there. So, I do, if you don't mind, I'd like to see, if you go back to the main dashboard, as, it's the way I used to manage a lot. Like the high alerts. If I click on the high alerts,
Yes.
um, yeah, where does this take me? What is it?
So where this takes you, and there are a lot of high alerts here, of course.
Yeah.
So how we handle alerts, you can reactively go in here and use the
Mm-hmm.
filters to comb through the alerts, address the alerts, of course. We also do have customizable email alerts as well. For
Yeah.
example, for high alerts, you want to have your admins be notified of that, of course. If you have our MDR service, we're going to be managing a lot of the high level threat related alerts. That's covered by MDR, of course. So that's where we actually go and help you. But you can see here that if we click into the alerts, we're on the partner
Mm-hmm.
level today here.
Yeah.
So this covers all the different customers and all the products that they have.
So
It, mhm.
I'm just curious. Yeah, I see that one right there. The gateway is down as your main connective. Is that, could you, to the right where it says customer MSP demo, is that filled? I know this is a demo account, so I don't know if anything's there. Are you able to, can I see exactly? It's the fourth one down, I think. Yeah. Can I see
Yeah,
what they drill in on?
this one here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if there's anything in there. We're always spinning up and taking firewalls down, and most of them aren't
Yeah.
licensed
Yeah.
correctly in the demo account. But if you do click on it, it will take you to that customer environment. And
Okay.
apologies, my computer gets a little bit sluggish if I'm sharing my screen. But it will take you to the specific customer,
Yeah.
and it will take you to, and you can see this one has much less alerts because we're in this one's the same demo account I was in earlier, actually, the MSP and CSP demo one. And you can see all the different alerts here now based on this one specific customer only. You can see a bunch of them have been acknowledged already.
Gotcha. This is okay. Could you go back one real quick if you don't mind?
Absolutely.
I'm just, I guess what I'm trying to figure out is that, from somebody who, you know, go back one more to that. I think it was the main customer page, to the details of the.
Oh, so I think I clicked onto a different area, but we'll go back to the alerts. I think you wanted to see the alerts page for just a specific customer, right?
Yeah, for that I wanted to see like the description. The gateway, I think, is disconnected. Yeah, like I just click on the arrow to the far right. If you don't mind, I just kind of want to see what information is on
Yeah.
there. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, perfect. Okay, so then you could just drop it down. Oh, so you actually give a this could be because either more than 10, so I like that. And this could be, oh, okay. So this is yeah. All right. I like that. A lot of people don't show these descriptions to sort of help guide you in like what could be wrong because that is something that you know sometimes you end up having to googling or you have that experience. So that's really good to see. I like that.
Yeah, it's I think it's great, and you can definitely go to all alerts. The low level alerts are usually um, not really,
Yeah.
you don't really need the action on them. But we do have very customizable email alerts as well in here. Oh, and by the way, you can have email alerts based on the partner level or the customer level as well. You can configure it however you want.
This
Um,
is.
this one's locked because it's configured at the partner level. So
Mm-hmm.
email alerts are controlled by the partner, but you can start to see here that it's very customizable as well. I think we had a question: how can MSPs sign up for Flex? It's that website that we have. So sophos.com/MSP,
Mm-hmm.
and just filling in your information there. Again, there's no barrier or cost to entry. Once you've partnered with us, you'll have access to this dashboard. It'll be blank, the partner dashboard. Oh, you asked earlier, Garrett, about trial licenses.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, this is where you would create a new customer and set up a free trial as well. So if we go to, we'll go back to the customer page here. You can see there's a section for trial licenses. I
Uh-huh.
can start a new trial. And when I showed you earlier how to create the monthly account, it's basically the
Mm-hmm.
same process, except it's not billing right away. It's going to be a trial for 30 days. Now, there's some items we don't have a trial for. For example, our security operations team, the MDR service, there's no trial for that because there's
Yeah.
real live human beings at Sophos who are working behind the scenes. But if you just want to try a product license, you can create the account like this. It will then create a tenant. And let's see if I have a trial that I can show you here. There isn't, but it'll look like this,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll have a little sort of different icon that'll indicate that it's a trial. If it's a trial account and you want to convert it to an active customer, very, very easy. Highlight the customer, click update billing, and we've now updated that customer from a free trial evaluation onto an active monthly billed MSP Flex license.
I like that. Yeah, that's yeah, I like the way you're doing your licensing, the flexibility, the trials, because that definitely there's different situations you go into. There's prospects. There's like, hey, let's try it out. So I like this. I like what you guys are doing with this. Um, just I have a couple more questions before we wrap it up. When I deploy this, do I have is it show like Sophos or X icon in the task bar area, or can I do this silently, or what does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, we have on the, of course, it'll be, and you're probably talking about the endpoint agent on,
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
yeah. So in my, it's not in the other, I have three screens here, but in
Mm-hmm.
my main screen, I have the little Sophos shield icon. It doesn't have to
Okay.
be there, but it will show that my device is being protected.
Okay.
So the Intercept X, I'm wearing the Intercept X hat today. If you have that installed, that agent on the laptop or your computer, we have sort of a Sophos shield that's in the very bottom there. I've chosen to put it in my taskbar. It doesn't have to be there. It could
That's
be
cool.
working in the background.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's and do y'all have like any mobile apps, anything like that? If I just want to say, check it out, um,
We do, yeah. So we have three levels of licensing for our mobile
mm-hmm.
uh, security.
Yeah,
We have just security, we have just management, and then we have our advanced, which is a little bit of security and a
yeah,
little bit of MDM or management. It's
mm-hmm.
a great product. I have it on my iPhone. And one really cool use case that I just showed a partner is a partner in California called me up and he was like, I need a secure QR code scanner. We have a specific customer, it's a municipality, and somebody replaced all the QR codes on their parking meters with a sticker of their QR code.
uh,
It may be malicious, and they use our mobile for some of their customers, and including themselves internally. And I asked them, hey, go to the Intercept X for mobile app on your iPhone. Click the secure QR code scanner. Use that. Don't use the one on your phone. And go test and check it out. If it's malicious, you'll be protected because you're using the Sophos
mhm.
mobile app. So we do definitely have a great mobile offering as well.
All right. So my last question is, is one of those things where as an MSP, we're doing our own testing and things like that. So do I have to pay, like if I get on, or do I have 30 days, or do you have like an NFR for the
Yeah,
MSP, or what is yeah, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
we do, yeah. So NFRs, or not for resale or partner internal use licenses, we definitely have a
Okay.
program for that. We do offer most of our services at no cost. And by most, I mean most of our software-based ones, so virtual firewalls, and all the central licenses that I shared earlier. Services,
Mm-hmm.
because there's a big overhead for Sophos and we have
Yeah.
a human element to it. We do give a 45% discount off of certain services like MDR, for example.
Yeah.
45% off for our partners. We do renew it every year if you want to continue, as long as you're an active partner. But if you need the basic Intercept X, it's included at no cost. Certain licenses like XDR,
Yeah.
uh, we give a 75% off discount. There's a cost to that because it does collect a ton of data. It does cost Sophos a decent amount in terms of our cloud storage. But most of the products, from mobile to email encryption, phish threat, which is our security awareness and training, those are all included at no cost for our partners as part of that NFR program. So great question. Glad you asked that.
Yeah, no, that's a big deal, because it's a big decision for somebody to go all in and say, hey, we're very familiar with this, familiar enough to know what the experience is going to be like for the customer. So the NFR
Oh,
is real good.
yeah,
So
I forgot to mention too, for hardware, we do give 50% off, so half price. If you
oh,
want to get a Sophos firewall, access point, or switch, we do provide the hardware at half the cost. And we do provide the licenses at zero cost. It's free. So if you buy a firewall, 50% off, free services, free protections, free support for that firewall. Just the hardware itself. As you can imagine, there's a pretty hard cost on the
yeah.
hardware.
So I can't buy that and distribute to my customers with the 50% margin. Yeah.
We do have, you'll be surprised, we actually have a lot of different promotions. For example, right now I have a newer MSP who's inherited a few customers with our old XG firewalls.
Hmm.
He was pleasantly surprised to learn that we have a 70% off promotion off the hardware
Wow.
for our partners, for customers that are using our old firewalls. So we do have a lot of great promotions like that available today.
Wow. Wow. You guys are just you're checking off all kinds of boxes. It's very interesting. And especially for MSPs out there. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of different things. And um, thank you for your time today showing me. I know there's a lot more, but this is definitely something that I hope that can really get some people interested in paying attention to, what you guys are offering now, what you've evolved into. Because it's a fast-paced world out there in terms of, what you can offer and everything. So, um, is there anything before we wrap up for everybody out there? Just to let you know that just feel free to go to is it sophos.com? Okay.
Sophos.com for a general website. You can click on the MSP tab, or sophos.com/MSP.
Okay.
And that's where you're going to put in the partner application and have specific information on the Sophos MSP Flex channel.
Okay. All right. Also, if you're with Channel Program, feel free to jump in, create an account, check out reviews on Sophos. The reviews are authenticated MSP IT Pro users. We check every one of them. Trust me, it's we check them, and it's really interesting, because you could see what I call from the trenches what people are saying. So definitely check it out. And any last words you want to leave us with, Mark, before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I just want to thank you, Garrett, as well as all the viewers today for listening. If you made it this far, you can see by now that it really ties in everything I mentioned in the PowerPoint portion of this demonstration. I've been at Sophos for almost 7 years and very passionate about the company. I'm very passionate about the MSP industry because I think our MSPs do a massive service for organizations who really, quite frankly, need help with managing their cybersecurity. And then we take it a step further with such a great fit with what we offer at Sophos. And I think together between our MSP partners, 7,000 plus of them, and all the different offerings and enhancements we're making, I think together we can adequately protect all those SMBs. And there are a lot out there who are really unable to manage their own cybersecurity. And the ones that are managing their own today, I guarantee if you have that conversation with them, they will say, you know what, it probably is more worth it for us to outsource that to the managed services and to show them the value. And we're very good at that at Sophos, so just definitely reach out to us. We're more than happy to help support you and grow your managed security business.
Sounds good. We just got a comment from Andre. It's a great presentation, great product. So
Thank you.
thanks, Andre. Appreciate it. And all right. Well, for those of you who are going to be watching this after the fact, feel free to drop a comment. And you still get in touch with them. You can tag them. But Mark, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And this has been very interesting. Thank you, everybody. Hope you are having a great upcoming weekend. And I will see you guys on the next demo days. Thank you, everybody. Have a good one. Thank you, Mark.
Loving me.